Ew.
I almost threw up right there. Ooh,
Yeah.
God damn it. God damn it. Hold on. I don't feel good right now. I don't
It's
feel
just you gotta drink your pain away.
Bro, just thinking about it, I still got the shivers down my spine.
That's crazy. I'm actually trying to think if there's anything that I've seen that gives me like the heebie-jeebies. You know what I'm saying?
Cops? Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Howdy, partner.
What the fuck are you wearing?
I don't know what you're talking about. Around here, we call this cowboy hat.
Nah, I got a cowboy hat. They don't goddamn cowboy hat.
Hey, this is my Indiana Jones. See, because Indiana Jones was a survivor and a venturist, and that's what's happening in this show.
So let me get this straight. If you was in the show, you'd be walking around like that?
I'd walk around exactly like this.
Get the fuck out of here.
Maybe a little more. Maybe even a little more. My cowboy hat would be bulletproof.
Well, the vest I kind of can dig. It says make moves, not excuses. You got beast mode on. It's got to be done. Okay, I get that. That's all good.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just toss that because it's looking funny on camera. I get you. 10-gallon hat looking thing, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, it is. It's because you got it over your headphones.
Yeah, I know.
You need
I was trying to put it on, but I was trying to put it on the other way. But
hey, you need the Delta specials, baby. I'm telling you.
Whatever. Well, with that being said, welcome to the latest episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast, Side B. It's your boy Sarath, aka Makazi,
and your boy Chris Brown, aka Red 4 Delta. How's everybody doing?
I hope you guys are doing good because we are on our journey through what we going through.
We are going through the series on HBO Max called The Last of Us, episode 3.
All right, and episode 3 is a bit of a doozy, a little bit of a departure, depending on considering where we just came from, as far as the whole story with everything going on with Joel and Ellie. Like there was not a lot with Joel and Ellie in this one.
Nah, this one was a whole different twist.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie, when it first started off, I said this shit is getting weird, but at the end, I was like, that shit was dope.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because it doesn't really do. Because in this episode, they do kind of a time jump, and it doesn't. It says it brings it up, but it doesn't really click. Like the time jump doesn't really click until the end.
Yeah.
I mean, first and foremost, we from Massachusetts, right?
Indeed.
There's certain things in Massachusetts that when you see them, they bring a tear to your eye. For example, I was down in Cocoa Beach in Florida, which is 30 minutes from me. And as you're going to Cocoa Beach, you see one of these structures down near Cocoa Beach. And when I saw it, it brought a tear to my eye. It made me very happy.
Okay, what structure is this?
Well, I mean, where is it that Joel and Ellie are venturing off to in their hike?
They go to the Cumberland Farms.
Yes.
There's a Cumberland Farms
in Cocoa Beach.
Holy shit.
I was driving there one day. I went over to Cocoa Beach Pier and I was like, oh shit, Cumberland Farms. And it made me super happy.
If y'all don't know, that's a Massachusetts. Well, I think it's a Massachusetts thing. Don't quote me, but I know it's where
I want to say Massachusetts, maybe New England, but mostly Massachusetts.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen a Cumberland Farms in Connecticut. Well, I'm not positive.
Maybe I haven't seen any. No, Connecticut, Rhode Island. I mean, I didn't go any places in Vermont and New Hampshire, but I've only seen them in Massachusetts. So
yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh shit! Whoever was doing the production design, they did some research.
Yeah.
The show is set in Boston and stuff like that. But I will say, I ain't never seen a Cumberland Farms that look like that.
I was looking for the orange. It couldn't have been that faded.
Well, I mean, but not just that. They had the yellow sign outside. Like if you go to like those truck stops or whatever, they have the yellow sign that tells you like, whatever is on the menu or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And they don't have that at Cumberland Farms.
Well, you know what? Yeah, they really don't. Now I think about it.
I felt it to me. It felt like they tried to make it look like one of those
country gas
country,
stations.
yeah, those country rest stop gas stations,
Mm-hmm.
but they just happen to put the Cumberland Farms name on it.
That makes sense because I live in the country, so I know.
Yeah. That's that was one thing. I was like, I'm glad they use Cumberland Farms, but that don't look like no Cumberland Farms I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But, all right. So why were they searching out this Cumberland Farm?
Apparently, Joel is backtracking to go pick up some supplies that he left. What are you sipping on?
This is Puncher's Chance bourbon.
Nice. He's looking for some supplies that he stowed away. I'm guessing years ago, maybe 20 years ago. No, not 20. You want to have him maybe?
Maybe just along as the years went by, he uses Cumberland Farms as a stash place, as a stash area. Could have been that long because the sign for Cumberland Farms wasn't that faded. So they made everything look like all grown over and shit like that, but it actually wasn't that faded. So it probably could have been about 5-6 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. But yeah, that's what they're going to do. He's going to pick up whatever supplies that he may have left there.
Yeah.
And he's got the little asshole girl with him.
Yeah. And at least like her personality when they were in the woods, like she had a very cold and real statement where she was like, I was thinking, he goes, I don't want to hear anything about tests. He goes, no, I was thinking that, nobody forced you to do this. Nobody forced you to help me out. Nobody forced you guys to take me. So don't blame me for what happened to her. And he just looked at her. He was just like, you're right. You're right. Because he has to live. I don't want to say live with, but he has to live with the idea that like the choices him and Tess made regarding Ellie weren't for her safety, weren't for her best interest. It was for theirs.
Yeah.
And that's their choices cost Tess her life. She knew she was getting into.
You ever been in a situation like that where, let's just say your girlfriend, she's mad at something at work and comes home and starts going off about a certain plant in the position that has always been in, but today it bothers her. And she's yelling at you about this one plant that's been here for however long because of something happened at work. You ever had to stop and check and like, look, whatever you just went through had nothing to do with me. Yeah. So calm down and what's going on.
Dude, plenty of times. Plenty of times. It's just like, whatever's happening in your life right now, I get it, you're having a bad day. I don't know what's going on in your day because you haven't said anything to me about it, but you're obviously having a bad day. Cool. I understand that. Everybody has their bad days, but don't take that shit out on me because I haven't done anything to warrant this bad day.
I agree.
And it's I think sometimes people conflate, their feelings for, okay, so maybe I'm saying that wrong. They think because a lot of people think because they have a reason for something means they have an excuse for something. I don't know if you know the difference.
Oh, I know the difference.
Yeah, it's like for basically saying like if something's happening to someone in someone's life. Something's happening in someone's life, and like something's happening in someone's life, and they, it puts them in a bad mood, puts them in a bad mind state. Okay, that's your reasoning for being in that mind state, but that doesn't give you an excuse to treat everyone else like shit just because you feel that way. And I think some people conflate the idea of just because I have a reason to do this, so I can be that way. Oh, you can't. You just have a reason to be that way. That doesn't excuse it.
Yeah, indeed.
You people need to stop doing that. Stop taking your day out on other people. That's what I'm saying. The Uncle Sam point.
Look, okay, like I was gonna say something. I was gonna say it's usually sensitive as dudes and a bunch of y'all females.
Hey, what's that say on your shirt?
Bankroll bros.
Power moves industries.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't. There's certain words in the English language that just need to be left alone. You can't spell them a different way just to make them cool in the hood. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I actually just realized that because the shirt wasn't mine.
Ain't no U in moves. I was like when they spell tough, Tuff.
Yeah, I don't even know where this shirt came from now I think about it. Like I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well.
Oh.
I'm in the house chilling.
But yeah, okay, so they get to the Cumberland Farms, and they're trying to look for supplies, and then Ellie comes across
Uh,
a
underground
like
lobby, not even a lobby.
storage
Yeah.
area.
Mm-hmm.
While I was watching it, I was like, man, ain't no Cumberland Farms got a basement.
They all got basements.
Well, I just in my head when I first saw it, I was like, this looks odd, looks out of place. But then after I thought about it, I was like, no, they got storage areas, maybe, in the basement, some shit like that.
Yeah. But what did she find down there?
She found
Tampons and
a fresh box of tampons.
Yeah.
And she found a half dead
zombie Reaper, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Looking at her. And she, looked at it and was, got some thoughts in her head, and she was just like, fuck you.
That was interesting to me. Why because I'm guessing in my opinion, I'm guessing they showed the tampons to let the viewers know that she's how can I put it?
Preteen?
A young lady, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when it comes to the zombie, I'm trying to figure out how and why is he there?
Yeah.
And then, of course, viewers, if you watched, she cuts him and then she stabs him.
Yeah. She cuts him. She saw like the fungus underneath the skin, which is fucking gross.
Yeah.
I said, just when you got like shit that looks like cotton on the under your God damn. I'm getting tingly feelings all right now.
Yeah. But you must have a weak stomach or something.
No, there's just certain things like, okay, so stuff like that where I have this weird, like, I don't want to say phobia, but like if I see like muscles, like raw muscles, like if you like peel the skin off, you can see a muscle or something. That's the way it looks.
Okay.
It sends like fucking chills down my spine. I don't like when I was younger, I was playing in my friend's backyard, and they had a creek that went through the backyard. And one winter, like there was like a little bit of ice across the top of the creek. And one piece of the ice, just the way it formed, it looked like a raw muscle, like the striations and all that stuff. And I remember seeing that shit and just like getting freaked out, like
really
to this day. Even drawings, if you send me a drawing of like a realistic drawing of like raw muscle, bro, I don't know why it freaks me out. If it's covered in blood, I'm fine. It's covered in blood, I'm fine. But when I can see the striations, when I can see like a person go, like I saw this video once where someone had gotten the top of their hand ripped off, and the dude was like this, just doing this, and you could see all the tendons. And bro, I almost threw up. I almost threw up right there. God damn it! Hold on. I don't feel good right now. I don't feel
you gotta drink your pain away,
bro. Just thinking about it, I still got the shivers down my spine.
That's crazy. I'm actually trying to think if there's anything that I've seen that gives me like the heebie-jeebies. You know what I'm saying?
Cops.
Shit, the way the world is today, shit, you're damn right. Shit, even black cops is killing black people now. It's terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Court order, cops.
Man, I can do it. I can do it. Child support, shit. Yeah. Fucking UTI.
So okay, yeah. All right, so okay, so back onto the show. What was the main point of this episode? Because this was a very different episode.
It was. The main point of the episode was about the American rebel, in my opinion. I remember his name.
Bill. Okay. His name is Bill.
Yeah. And his partner Frank.
Yeah.
Which was very, very interesting. They met because Frank fell in one of his traps. Okay, so for the people that watched it, you know that Bill set up his whole house. He waited till they evacuated his little town, and then he basically took it all over. You know what I'm saying? because he's one of the people I'm not gonna be moved. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
just what it is.
Yeah. I mean, what do you connect with that kind of mind state?
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely. I'm
because
stubborn.
he was just like this is my house, this is my place. Like I have the knowledge and the fortitude to set this place up, and I can be self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm. Not even that. I just feel like the the identity of this is my mountain. I'm not stepping off of it. Like 'cause some people are so headstrong about what
Yep.
they're doing,
Mhm.
even if it's wrong,
Yeah.
they're not gonna move. You gotta
Why do you think people why do you think some people are like that?
well, in my opinion, off of the show, because he was something that maybe wasn't accepted, maybe, or he did, or he, no, not even not necessarily accepted, but didn't want to show the world.
Yeah.
So in reality, he's doing all this to hide himself because he's really in hiding himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
felt I felt like I kind of felt like he was I don't want to say in denial of who he was, but I think like you said, he was so convinced that the world wouldn't accept him as he was
mhm,
that like he was very used to just being alone and being on his own. So when the town evacuated and
mhm,
everyone left and he was left to his own devices, he was cool with that because he's like, now I can just it's just me and like I don't have to worry about anyone else. I don't have to worry about any of these outside forces or outside voices
mhm.
stepping into my paradise.
Yeah,
And for a while he was. I mean that setup was dope.
yeah. He broke into everything, took the gas on,
Mm-hmm.
had
Took
a
the
whole
gas, went to
electric.
the Home Depot, got his supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I mean, I think he was he was perfectly set up to live out the rest of his life on his own. Like he
Yeah,
knew exactly what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it,
yeah.
you know. And then one day, one of his traps trips out, and he goes and checks it.
Mm-hmm.
There goes Frank, just sitting inside a trap.
That was like kind of weird. Like, how did that happen?
Well,
Like, well,
so
he
he
said he's
said,
trying to get to Boston.
yeah, he said him
Yeah.
and the other people were trying to get to Boston. I think he was the only one that was left,
Yeah.
you know. And part of this, so part of this episode, like it not confused me, but like it made me it made me contemplate the idea of like because at one point, you start to see a relationship building with him. You see a I don't want to say a passion, but there's a kind of a romance.
See, in my opinion, that comes out later because
Yeah,
I felt like Bill's character was just showing human nature.
yeah.
Like, no matter how much isolation you want to have, how brutal you think you are, all that stuff, you're still not gonna let an innocent person die.
Well,
You know what
okay,
I'm saying?
so do you think because this is what I was trying to get to. So you think
Mhm,
in the beginning moments, because okay, so what happens is Bill and Frank they strike up a relationship and they
mhm.
become a homosexual couple, and in the beginning moments of it, I didn't get the sense that Bill was a homosexual
Me either.
because he
Uh,
says he used to be married to a woman, or he was his last person he was with was a woman, but
mhm.
like it felt like in that moment, Frank might be the only other human he ever meets in his life. And it felt like it was more about, that human connection than it was, I'm a homosexual and I finally found another homosexual, you know?
Hmm.
It just in that moment, I wasn't sure because when it came across, it didn't come across to me like, you know, Bill was in denial of who he was, and he finally came across someone who could help him, help him become who he is. It felt more like Bill was he was reserved to just living out his life alone,
Mhm.
self-sufficient, not seeing anyone. And all of a sudden he came to a point where he met another person,
Yeah.
who he could have a connection with.
Okay. So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're thinking Bill actually wasn't gay, but
I,
he.
I, I don't know if you. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I don't know if he was gay or he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't to me. It didn't come across like he was gay. It just came across like he finally saw another human, and he never thought he would ever see again.
Mm.
You know?
Okay. Well then, okay, I see that point. But then after you realize when he lets him out the hole
Mm-hmm.
and takes him inside and gives him the clothes for the shower or
Give him
whatever.
clothes, cooks him a good dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't like it. To when I saw that, it didn't come across as, oh my god, I'm I'm a gay guy, and I
Mm-hmm.
just met another gay guy. It did to me.
Nah.
I didn't feel that. It came across like, oh my god, like there's another human in front of me. Like I'm awkward because I haven't interacted with humans in a long time, but
Mm.
I want to hold on to this human connection.
Yeah.
It's
Mm.
less about sexuality, more about a human connection.
Okay.
That's how it came across to me. I don't know if that's what they intended or whatever. But that's just how it felt to me.
Okay. So him cooking dinner and showing the wine and everything. I mean, it gets really weird like at this moment in the show
Yeah,
because even when because I feel like Frank's character kind of knows
yeah,
and he's trying to let Bill know that it's okay to be who you are.
yeah.
So
I got that. Yeah,
okay, yeah, because he was just like, okay, what about this piano or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Like all that was kind of weird. Like yeah, everything about that was weird.
It's that kind of awkwardness that you would normally imagine. Imagine if you had reserved your life to just it's me and nature. Then all of a sudden, someone shows up at your doorstep and you don't want them to leave, but you don't want them to know that you don't want them to leave.
Mm,
So
okay.
you're gonna kind of be awkward. You're gonna sit there and be like, I don't want you're not trying to woo them, but you're gonna put your best foot forward. I'm gonna cook you a nice rabbit. I'm gonna cook you, do all these different things. I'm gonna offer you some nice clothes. And then the other guy is like, I can feel the connection, but I can also feel how awkward it is for him. So I'm gonna try to make it as what's the word?
Comfortable,
There we go.
comfortable.
Comfortable as possible.
But no, because he when he said something, which I thought was interesting. Um, as brutal or brutal as he was,
Mm-hmm.
all his guns and you're not getting me, motherfuckers, and
Yeah.
America, fuck yeah, all the good shit and everything. Uh, like I'm just saying, when he cooked in the dinner, you could tell he cooked with passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when Frank says, what do you say? You know how to add the bow to the rabbit's foot or something like that?
I forget. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, he says some slogan, and it was like that eye opening part where it's like he's actually a really soft person,
Yeah.
but his outside appearance is a hard shell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought that was actually that part was actually interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And of course, when all unfolds, then okay, I get what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's like even in relationships or whatever, and we talked about this before on the A side of our podcast, as I said before, different movies that we watched. In relationships, you said before, people are so focused on putting their best foot that they think the other person thinks their best foot is
Mm-hmm.
versus their real foot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I
And he could
felt
see
like,
that. And Frank could see that in him. Like he's putting his best foot forward, but it's not really him.
mm-hmm.
It's
but
just what he thinks I want. And Frank is more like, no, like it's okay to be you. Like
mm,
you can be. I felt like Bill was just like, I felt for Bill because if it was like in that moment, he was just like, I have a chance to, this might be my only chance,
mm,
be who I truly am inside. And he's like, and like the whole time he's, you know, connecting with Frank and talking to him and stuff like that and cooking him dinner. In
mm,
my head, the only thing it felt like in behind Bill's eyes, all I could see was don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
And it just felt like that's the only thing that he was thinking the entire time was, he wasn't caring about the food. He's just like, hey, don't fuck this moment up with this human that you never thought would come your way.
Yeah. My bad. I just got my work info, and I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I research this when I get done.
It's all good.
That's
we gonna be done filming soon.
No, that's why the shit caught me off guard, because I ain't never been in this place before. But I'll research it later.
Yeah. Well, how would you react in that situation where you're like, that's because to me, this is the most interesting part of the episode is like, it's reserving yourself to living a certain lifestyle, and then all of a sudden getting a second chance.
You know what's funny? I kind of feel like I'm going through that now, and I'm not gonna go into details because it's my personal life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But knowing where I am, how I got where I am, what I'm doing, and then I ran into a situation that has kind of altered everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I said the episode was kind of interesting, because I actually understood it on a personal level, where it's like you do these things to yourself because the world has done it to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, if this is what they see me as, or who I gotta be, then I'm a be it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you come across something that is who you really truly are, but you hid it for so long.
And you don't recognize it when it starts showing up?
No, you recognize it, but you don't believe it's real.
Yeah.
Because you've never come across it before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I get that.
So in that situation, it's just like, like everybody looks at me like, I'm a thug, covered in tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I get it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't dismiss it, because shit. I mean, I did it to myself. Look at me. No, I know who.
Huh? You got the tattoos and the bandana, so you understand that exudes a specific aura. But if these people really knew, they'd be like, "Oh, Chris is a bitch." Sorry, I was watching the Boondocks.
No, but this is the Boondocks line right there.
I was watching the Boondocks.
Why is it always going to end this way? Because you's a bitch. Oh man.
All right. So at this point in the story, Bill and Frank begin a relationship. And, you see how much Frank is affecting Bill's life, his normal routine. It's changed. They're going running. They're trying to take stock in little different things in their life, and then like they get into an argument because Frank wants to go and spend some of the resources, rebuilding some of this town. Because he says, we might get some company one day. And I think Bill just like, he never really let that thought come into his brain. Like, it's just in his mind, it's just him. And then all of a sudden it's just him and Frank. Like he never thought that anyone else would ever show up on their doorstep. But Frank was like, someone might, and I want this place to be nice when they do.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because he's been communicating, which the show shows later on.
Yeah.
That he's been communicating with Joel and Tess.
Yeah.
Or was it just Tess?
No, it was Joel and Tess, because they came. Yeah, because they came. That's when they came to have lunch, and you could see how awkward Bill was in that moment, because he had the pistol on the table the entire time, not even underneath the table.
Yeah,
he had the pistol on top, pointed at Joel, like, "Hey, you make a move, and it's over." And everyone and Frank and Tess are just like, we're just trying to have lunch.
Yeah, but see, and that's what I'm saying. What I was saying before, when you live the life where you've always been either misunderstood or had to hide who you are, once you get that place that is all you, you want to protect it at all cost. You know what I'm saying? So for Bill in that moment, it's like, I created this world. This is my world. You're in my world now. I'm not in yours.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna protect it at all costs. You know what I'm saying?
But I think Joel could really like I think he understood more than anyone how Bill felt. That's why he didn't give him shit. He was just like, he goes, yeah, he said something, and literally in the middle of the statement, he goes, yeah, and get that damn pistol out my face. I forget what it was.
Okay.
He was just talking normally, and then he just ended it with, and get that damn pistol out my face. I was like, oh, like he knows how to keep it cordial, but he's gonna set you straight. Like he's gonna be just as blunt as you are.
Yeah.
And, and then when Joel and Tess go to leave, because he gives him that warning, he goes, hey, this place is awesome, but like they're gonna come. At some point, like you need to refortify this and that, because they're gonna come and they're not gonna fucking let up.
Yeah.
And sure enough, in the middle of the night, them traps hit.
Yeah.
Frank was like, what's going on? And fucking
Bill's lighting shit up.
He's out there with his shotgun trying to take people out.
Yeah.
That's got to be a scary, scary fucking feeling. If you set your little bunker up to where you're completely safe from anything, then all of a sudden some shit just actually shows up.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, this movie actually, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about
TV show, bro. TV show.
Yeah, shit, my bad. TV show. No. This TV show actually brings me back to the military, my military service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sleep in the middle of the night and keep your flak vest open on the side of your bed, because when you hear a boom, you just roll out, grab it, roll under the bed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you train yourself for the bullshit.
Yeah.
And like I don't know what he was thinking, what was going on, or whatever he was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was always ready. So yeah, I don't know. But
so I was gonna say. So how do I put it? All right, so at this point, after that whole siege happens and it dies down, we see that Bill gets shot. He's on the table and he's basically telling Frank, like, hey, you gotta go do this on your own. Here's the key, whatever, and all this different shit. I make keys of everything, whatever. And Frank is going to take care of like Bill's wounds, because you can see that he got shot.
Yeah.
I thought Bill was done for.
That's what I thought. I thought he died at that moment.
And it turns out, no, he made it past it. And now Bill was the one taking care of Frank, because Frank, they had gotten to a point. I think they were running, right?
No, the run was before.
No, I think this is the one where they went to the strawberries.
Yeah, but I think the strawberries were before the shotgun. I think the strawberry scene, and then the scene of all the explosions.
So just backtrack, because the strawberry scene was really, what's the word? It was really like crucial to me.
Okay.
Because Bill traded Frank traded some weapons or something to Tess and Joel.
Yeah.
For some seeds. And he grew it, and like the minute they taste these strawberries, like the joy on their face. Could you imagine the idea that I am never gonna have something ever again? Then all of a sudden it's right there. You get to taste it again. Like, just imagine, like, I don't know what to equate it to, but I mean, for lack of a better term, what if I could never have ramen ever again?
You'll lose your goddamn mind.
Exactly. And for those who know me, know how much I love ramen. But just in general, like, imagine if I like reserved my life to being like, that's something I can never. If I was in such bad health that I could never have that kind of stuff again, then all of a sudden one day it creeps back into my life, and after years, and you have that first sip of the broth, it's like a religious experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was in that moment, I was just like, it was this pure sense of joy. And like, I just imagine in that time, like, you don't get much of that. And that's why it was so important to me, because it was one of those moments where Frank went off and did his own thing, but it equaled a piece of a sense of joy that I never thought I'd have, or Bill would have.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So,
but then, I mean, after all that, we start to see Frank's health decline.
Yeah, because Frank went down faster than Bill did.
Yeah, because he got. I mean, I don't know if they ever said what it was, but obviously it was something like health wise. Because
Yeah,
at this point, Frank is in a wheelchair.
yeah, because he said something. He said they couldn't even cure. What he said? He said they couldn't even cure this disease when everybody was around.
Yeah.
So he just knew what his last day was going to be. You know what I'm saying? So
And I don't know. I mean, that was fucking heartbreaking.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm talking to the damn dog.
No, it's just heartbreaking because you're like, I mean, it was like Frank understood the situation he was in, and it was his last supper.
Yeah,
He's like,
it's like
this is what I
that.
want for my last days.
That's gotta suck when you know. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. When you know you're gonna die. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, not even that. Like, okay, so it's gotta suck for Frank because he knows it's over for him. So he's trying to, make his last days as, worthwhile as possible. But imagine being Bill and knowing that like we can try to stretch this out longer. I can have more days with you, but you've decided today's my last day. And I gotta sit there and be like, I'm gonna do all these things to try to help make your last day as lovely as possible. But in my head, I know like we could have a couple more days.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be today doesn't have to be the last day. Like that was fucking like super like emotional for me.
Yeah, because like you said in the last episode that we did, like you ever been around somebody that you like love very much, and and you know they're gonna die. You have to watch them die. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that carried over into this one. You
Yeah.
know, and he did everything that he asked him to do: cook the dinner, put on a nice suit or whatever. You know, and yeah, that was that.
Put a whole thing of pills into his drink from. I
Yeah.
mean, this is where a twist happens. This is where the twist happens because Bill didn't put all the pills into his cup.
Oh yeah, he put some of them in the bottle of wine.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Bill drank it, and as quickly as he drank it, that's when Frank knew, like you did. He goes, "You put the pills in the bottle. The pills were already in the bottle." He goes, "Enough to kill a horse." I mean,
Yeah.
like what goes through a person's mind? Because it's that Romeo and Juliet shit. But like, what goes through a person's mind that like they, I don't know. Like he basically said, I've lived my life as best I can. I've lived it as good as I can, and I've lived my life for someone else. Like there's nothing left to live for.
Yeah, because he started off living his life for himself.
Yeah.
So.
And that's that to me. That was the point of this episode. It was about taking someone who, made a decision to live for himself and to survive as long as he can, and in turn, it gave him a reason and taught him how to live for someone else or how to have a purpose.
Yeah.
I thought that was the big lesson out of this episode. It was, it's just finding your purpose in life.
Yeah.
And Bill's purpose was to love and protect Frank.
Yeah, and at the end he writes the letter when Joel shows back up.
Yeah.
Because of course at this moment we know from the first episode, second episode, Joel really don't care too much about the girl.
Yeah, he just cares about getting to his brother and the battery.
Yeah. And when he gets to Frank and Bill's house and reads the letter and everything else, I don't know who wrote the letter.
I think Bill definitely did. Because Bill, he puts it out there. He goes, to whoever shows, to who it may concern, or Joel. But he said it's probably going to be Joel because he's the only one that really knew about that.
Yeah. And he says, what did he say, guy? I wish I could remember. It's our purpose to protect the ones we love, or something like that, or to fulfill our duties, something. And it made Joel kind of like snap into his reality. Like, wait a minute, I got this little girl here.
Well, I mean, even before that, it made him go out there and just realize that, like, it was his duty to protect Tess, and he didn't. I think that's what really.
Okay.
He goes outside. He looks like he's about to start crying because, like, in the letter, he said, it's our duty to protect the ones we love and all that stuff. And you realize, like, Joel loved Tess and he let her die the same way his daughter died. All this stuff. So it's like, it's almost like that realization, like, hey, you're doing a fucking shitty job of protecting the people in your life. Like, right as fuck.
What say shit? What
He popped up for no reason.
But say God come to get you?
Yes, the Lord. The Lord's taking me. It's the rapture.
Like,
so I'm dressed for the occasion.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like, I mean, for Joel, it was, like you said, it was that realization of this is the life I'm in. And right now I'm doing a shitty job of protecting the people I love. That's gotta be, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's really tough to have that kind of messaging or that thought coming through your brain. Like,
it's the point, I guess. I mean, I'm a firm believer we all have a purpose. And I really think our purpose is to do what we've always done since we were kids. The only difference is the older we get, it never changes what the outcome's supposed to be, or not what the outcome's supposed to be, what the purpose is.
Yeah.
But the older we get, we think about it differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really feel that as human beings, we're all born with our own purpose.
Yeah.
And because we're so influenced by everybody else in life and everything, we forget what that is. And in this, I guess his purpose was to protect.
Yeah.
And he just didn't want to do it. Even when he tried to do it, he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I really think that even when his daughter died in the first episode, I think that he didn't do it because he was still thinking about himself. Because he lived, she died.
Yeah. You think he was thinking about himself, or like in his mind? It felt, I don't know, and it felt like in his mind, he felt like he did everything he can. And then in the moment, reading the letter and just seeing like being snapped back into reality, he was like, no, I'm not doing everything I can, because if I did, they would be here.
And matter of fact, when him and the girl are walking through the woods or whatever, she says something. Hopefully, remember. She says, "Were you shitty at shooting, or just shitty in general, or something like that?"
He says in general.
Yeah,
as they're getting to the fucking Cumberland Farms.
Okay, yeah.
She asked him about how he got the scar on his head.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because I missed. But that was actually really dope, because he goes, I missed. He goes, it happens a lot more than you think. Because, in movies, everybody shoots. John Wick shoots and hits everybody with one bullet.
Yeah.
In real life, nah, like you don't hit that easily.
Yeah.
I don't know from experience. I ain't never shot a gun in my life. I shot a BB gun. Not the same.
Was it a pump, or you had the air cartridges in there?
No, air cartridges, a little pistol.
Okay.
But you got the heavies at your house.
Oh yeah.
Next time I come over, we'll practice.
Look, even in the backyard, I still be missing. Like, yo, how what the fuck? Okay.
Your neighbor's gonna come out like, what the fuck? Now I can't watch pay-per-view because you hit the satellite.
Oh no, you shoot in certain directions because people might shoot back. If you know what I'm saying. Just saying. Where I live is yeah. Everybody got guns on here.
If a bullet goes through your neighbor's window, they're like, oh God, the Klan.
Oh man.
But I mean, so at this point, I think Joel really got knocked his senses in and be like, okay, like there's more to life than just what I want. So he kind of puts it on his back, like, like maybe if I get her here to this place, they can help you out too. But like you can see that visible change in him, like, no, like protecting her is a priority now.
Yeah. He finally accepts his duty, which is always to protect.
Yeah.
But he never, I guess, accepted it or even knew what his duty was until that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
yeah.
got meant like I wonder again. I haven't played the game in so long. I wonder if the game had this much emotional beats to it. I would think so because a lot of people love this video game. So you know, I just wonder because like he looks at the truck and he's like, okay, how do I get this thing to go? Then he looked into the fruit refrigerator and saw all the parts to make it a battery.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how to put together a goddamn battery, so I can't imagine how that goes. But I wonder if in the game that was something you had to do in the game too. You had to find all the pieces of a battery and put it together.
Well, see, I never played the game. You said you haven't played so
You
long,
got
but
it.
I know.
Got it. The PlayStation I gave you.
Look, I barely got enough time to shit. I'm just saying. That actually wasn't even where I was going, but it just came out that way. Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering now, like, especially this episode specifically, makes me want to go back and replay this game because it was such an emotional episode. I don't know. I wonder if it was still in the game like that. I don't remember. It's been so long. You know, when's the last time you played a video game that had that much emotional stakes behind it?
Oof. Emotional stakes?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a big video game person, but
fat fingers.
I'm a different video game person.
I like to press different.
I'm a different V game person. Just saying, but not because my favorite game is God of War. You know, all of them, but I can't say they have like an emotional touch or connection. I just thought they was dope ass games.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
No, maybe you need to go play those games again with reset eyes.
Yeah, I am older than when they first came out.
You goddamn right you are.
Yeah, I think when it first came out, I think when the first God of War came out, I was what, 20?
Yeah,
maybe. Shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so at this point we have, Joel and Ellie. They got the truck started.
And they come to an agreement.
we're gonna get to Wyoming. When we get there, maybe they'll be able to help her out. And that's where we're left. And they got the music in the car. And I think this is the first time they've really heard music in a while.
Which is the same song that he played on the piano. Am I right?
Yeah. What was it? It was,
a long time.
Yeah. What was her name?
Shit. I don't know.
I forget the name, but Ellie was just like, I don't want to listen to this. But then after she goes, it's better than nothing. So it's one of those things where it's almost like this might not be my choice in life. It's better than nothing. She's very jaded towards this whole situation too. She's getting tossed around like, okay, this is a sack of money where it's being donated to the highest bidder. Whereas she's just like, you know what, being with Joel isn't my favorite thing in the world, but it's better than nothing.
That's actually interesting.
How many times do you reserve yourself to just accepting the life you have in front of you versus the life you want?
I think everybody does it. Like everybody wants their life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But very few people go out and get it. And I'm talking at all costs. Where, you get the life you want, but you lost your best friend. You lost your family. You know what I'm saying? You lost certain things that were actually important to you to get this life, and then you got it. Like, yes, I'm here, but you shit on everybody close to you to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're there by yourself. So, yeah, that's actually a cool statement. Matter of fact, I heard there was a quote in a movie, I think it was Prometheus, where it said, if you, what did he say? If you can't have the one you love, then love the one you have.
That's a very real statement, because there's there's a lot of people out there who will just be what's the word, obsessed with the thing they want, so much so that they disregard the things they have. And you, again, you never know what you got till it's gone.
Indeed.
So yeah, I think in this moment, they've kind of just reserved themselves to be like, this ain't the life I wanted, but this is the life I have right now. So I'm going to, like Joel, I'm going to take care of the life I have. And at least I'm going to appreciate, the life I have right now.
Yeah.
Just, where do you think this goes in the next episode? This is the first time, we don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. This is the 4th episode coming up.
Yep.
Joel and Ellie finally, got to their, huh?
They have some wheels.
They got some wheels. And they got to their middle ground.
Yeah.
Where I really think there's a respect there now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think next episode they're gonna go through some shit because there always has to be some shit that happens.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna show how well they actually work together now.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get that, and I also think we're gonna get a little more in depth into what caused this whole virus thing.
True.
So yeah, I'm excited because again, the first 2 episodes I loved, but they were also kind of like the normal run of the mill, apocalypse, survive the zombies kind of thing. This last episode was the one where I went, oh, there's a little more to this, the story than
it's starting to come in line.
Yeah. It was like there was a little more emotion to it than just like, all right, kill the zombies and survive. It's way more. I guess there's more nuance to it. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this next episode comes.
Indeed.
All right. Well,
so
with that being said,
is that it?
Yeah, that's episode 3 of The Last of Us.
All right. On the B side, the black side, or brown, whatever you called it. Shit.
All right. Well, I mean, the hope is for us to drop this at the B side of our podcast, of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy podcast, every Friday on wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube every Friday. So keep a lookout, follow us, come with us on this journey through The Last of Us, and let's see if we all, if all of our brainwaves are on the same length. Yeah,
indeed. Yeah. As always, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. Again, it's your boy Sarath, aka Makazi,
and your boy Chris Brown, aka Red 4 Delta.
Join us next week for episode 4.
Yes, indeed.